Hey folks, what's going on? It's time for another episode of Sorta Ridiculous Live. I'm Darren Austin of Sorta Ridiculous, obviously. And with me on the show today, we have the one, the only Rob Love. He's a face of not he's a dope comedian that I feel very fortunate to work with this weekend. Tomorrow actually we have a show at K3 Studio Cafe, Sorta Ridiculous Comedy Night. And yeah, we have a really cool lineup for you guys. So with that being said, let's just get into it. Hey Rob, how you doing today?
What's up, D? How you doing, homie?
Well, man, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Like I was saying before, I had a little pre-show jitters, but like you said, it's because I care. And this being the first venture into the Memphis scene proper, I'm pretty excited for it. So
Man, salute you for expanding the market, man, expanding the game and getting out your comfort zone. That's how we grow. They say we get out the comfort zone and we grow.
yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, with you being a new guest, I have a few questions for you. You ready for this?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. Answer me these questions today. All right. So, question one: what is something sort of ridiculous about you?
Something sort of ridiculous about me. I have open knowledge easily, so it kind of makes me nervous. Nervous when I talk to people because I got to double check and make sure I don't have boogers. So that's sort of ridiculous that the nostrils that I was born with. It just makes me nervous to talk to people because I'm always wondering, do I have a book?
Oh, you know, I get that. I get that. I think that's funny. So, as far as nostrils are concerned, I would be more concerned about them not having enough air to take breath and talk all that much. But no, that's a legit issue, especially with some nostrils. It's like it's not just the entrance. It's like all up in the cave that you might be missing something. And then,
Man, if it's a short person, they can see it all. I don't know if
man,
anybody ever had a situation where you had a conversation and then walked away and realized you got a booger in your nose, and now you wondering when did the booger get there? I'm trying to do booger CSI, trying to figure out when did the booger arrive? Did I sniffle? Did I sneeze? Did I giggle too hard? Why she didn't tell me that the booger was there? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot with these nostrils, man. That's sort of ridiculous for sure.
it is, and you touched on something that is like really, really important. The fact that they'll just let you have a whole conversation and not tell you that you have bats in the cave. I'm like,
Man,
tell me that I look
let me
less than
know.
awesome. You know what I'm
the
saying?
the corner of the mouth or something in your teeth, they don't tell you now you're up here looking stupid and don't even know it, but they just let you ride around looking stupid.
Right, and then if you're gonna be like on screen or like on TV or any sort of like video, whatever. Wait. We should do a check. We should do a check. All right, all right. You look all right. You got all right. You ain't got nothing in the cave, nothing in the corner of the
That's it.
mouths, no eye boogers, nothing like that. All right, am I all right? Am I cool?
Yeah, yeah. And usually if you rub the area in front of the person, they gonna actually feel like they got something. So this is the sign. Like if somebody got something in their mouth and you talking to them, you try to let them know you got something right here. You just do that, or if they got something in their nose, you like you got something. You know what I'm saying? But that don't work everywhere because sometimes this means cocaine. So just don't want you to make sure you rub in people's nostrils, rub your nostrils in front of anybody. They might misinterpret.
Well, try to walk to the bathroom, and they're like, "Wait, aren't you coming?" Like, no, I'm checking to see if I got some boogers in my nose. Oh no, I don't party like that.
That's, that's it.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. So, question two: what is something sort of ridiculous to you?
Something sort of ridiculous to me. These gas prices are sort of ridiculous, bro. I'm
Yo,
telling you, bro. I've been at the gas station so much. The police think I'm selling drugs or something. They think why you always at the gas pump? Because I ain't filling it up. And
right?
then I'm trying to the change I got in there. You know what I mean? So I'm going to the gas pump at least 3 times a day. I'm like a little fiend. My gas is getting in like a fiend.
You're like, here, let me get these 3 gallons real quick. Let me get these 3 gallons real quick.
These
I
three
got the
gallons on pump 4.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, you up here a lot. I see you a lot. I'm seeing everybody eat shift. I see everybody at least once a shift.
Yeah, let me get 5 on 8. Let me get 5 on 8. Here, let me get a 3-5. Let me get a 3-5 on 8, please.
3 5 on 8 is hilarious.
Man, no, it's real out here. It's real out here, though. I mean, and luckily we're in places where the gas is moderately priced. And I can only
Moderate.
imagine how
Yeah, you're right.
ridiculous it is, like out on each of the coasts. You know what I'm saying? That's
Cali,
insane.
Cali is stupid right now. Cali's at least 5 a gallon, and I'm saying, especially if your gas is taking like in supreme gas, then you already at four and a half. You getting 4.5 a gallon. Man, it's crazy right now for real.
Right? That's crazy. If I move out to Cali, I'm gonna be driving around a '94 Toyota Corolla.
Man, I'm going all electric. Just all Jesus, like give me all the sun. Give me all that energy. I ain't paying for no gas. I'm going electric out
Ooh.
there in Cali.
Man, so you're a fan of the of electric cars or the thought of electric?
I'm not, but just like I said, these
Right.
gas prices going so high. I'm gonna
Desperate
get an
times
electric
for
scooter.
desperate
I'm getting some. I'm
measures.
getting something that I ain't got to go to the gas station for.
Right, right. And getting the scooter, you get to avoid traffic too.
That's a win-win. That's a
Man,
win-win. You gonna pull up stanky though. You gonna pull up funky. Ain't no way to pull up at work smelling like outside. That ain't no good look. You know what I'm saying? But your coworkers still might mess with you. I don't know. That's sort of
ooh,
ridiculous.
that is sort of ridiculous. That is sort of ridiculous. All right, all right. So question three: what is something sort of ridiculous that has happened to you?
Sort of ridiculous that happened to me.
Yes.
Hmm. I've had a lot of situations, bro. I don't know how deep we want to go. Um,
I guess whatever's top of
um,
mind at the moment. I mean,
oh
we have
man,
stuff
what,
that
what's
goes on.
what's usually at the top of a guy's mind? You know what I'm saying? Thinking back to some of the experiences that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I had a situation where I was thanking a female service member for her service, and
Mm-hmm.
she was a little tougher than me. She was a little, I don't know if you've had experience where you getting physical intimate with a female that's tougher than you. You know what I'm saying? She been off the war. She been through combat training and everything, and it got a little ridiculous when her demands for me to please her got a little ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So ridiculous. She started asking me to smack her. She wanted to get hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Choke me out, smack me. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not my thing,
Yeah.
unless requested. You feel what I'm saying?
Of
So
course.
it was crazy that I drew back. I drew back because it's a guy's fantasy to backhand, but you never really want to do it for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I drew back, and then I went back as far as I could, and then I drew and I hit. I swung and I swung, but then right when I got to the cheek, it was real soft. It was like it wasn't even hard enough to get a. It wasn't. It was like, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So that was sort of ridiculous. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, that I don't really hit women. That ain't my thing. But I was trying to make it my thing for you. You feel what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right,
it was
right.
a crazy one, bro. It was weird. It was sort of ridiculous for
That
sure.
is sort of ridiculous. You almost gave her the Ike Turner plus. That's crazy.
I almost gave her Ike Turner plus package. She almost got the Ike Turner package, but that ain't in my repertoire. So I just
Mm.
tried to adjust on the fly. And couldn't bring myself to go in there. You know what I'm saying? I know it's rules to choking. I learned those, and I may talk about that a little bit May 1st tomorrow at K3 Studios at the Sort of Ridiculous show. But you learn from your experiences, and that's basically I learned to not get with a woman that's tougher than me.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I get. Well, I'm not gonna say absolutely not. I'm just saying that when you're getting intimate, it shouldn't feel like a UFC match. You know what I'm saying? No, none of this underhook
And that
stuff like
excites
putting triangles and arm bars and all that. Like, come on now, we're making
them.
love,
They can
not
get they
war.
can get it. They call that wrestle butt. Oh, that's how you wrestle, and then before you know it, y'all done got into some realness. You know what I'm saying? So it's a wrestle bust. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the wrestle bust because You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
she
no,
gets the upper hand on me, then I'm not excited anymore. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm trying to figure out, how to protect myself in case of emergency.
When you have to like tap out for real, that's crazy.
You have to
No,
tap out. That's crazy. We don't make you tap out.
that's yeah, that's absolutely no, that's out of control. That's sort of ridiculous. That is sort of
It's
ridiculous.
sort of ridiculous
Hmm.
indeed. Not the normal tap out. I'm talking about you heard me tap out. That's a different.
The one
That's a
that's
whole different tap
accompanied,
out. You,
the one that's accompanied
you
with a safe
want?
word.
Oh yeah, yeah. You want tap out? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But you know, that's definitely sort of ridiculous. With that being said, you've been in the comedy game for a minute and doing some
Yeah.
dope rooms and having some great experiences from what we've talked about before. But yeah, these folks, I'm pretty sure I know some of folks watching this. I mean, a lot of folks watching this know who you are, but yeah, no. So tell us a little more. Tell us about how you started in the game. Like what inspired you?
Man, my daddy is my comedy inspiration. Was my comedy inspiration. And as a young man, I wanted to try or do comedy, even though I wasn't very outgoing. But um, you know, I didn't know how to go about it. You hear about cats like Dave Chappelle and other young cats. We got a cat in Memphis, DeMarcus Head. They start before they even, they just still teenagers. I would have tried it, but I didn't know. We didn't know how to. Memphis wasn't a hotbed for comedy, and at the time I was younger, my folks didn't know about comedy in Memphis, so I don't even know if it was present. But I really wanted to get involved with it at a younger age, but didn't. Became an athlete, and my goal was to make it to the NBA, and then I'll be a comedian after that. You know what I mean? I feel like that would have been my cheat code,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the way I did it. I started later, and I've been going hard since 2010, just all gas, no brakes.
All right, all gas, no brakes. All right, so that means you probably progressed you progressed pretty quick, huh? I can imagine because
Yeah,
I like to think that
yeah. Go ahead.
I like to think that more time on stage sort of compounds progress, right?
It does for sure. The comedy game is a funny one. You know, what I mean, I feel like I said it's golf. You know, what I mean, it's like you against the course. So some of your peers may go and do things ahead of you. Some people who are behind you have started behind you have gotten more advanced. Like you have your own personal goals, you have your own personal pars. You know what I mean? So I think the things that I've accomplished are beyond what I set out to do, and I feel like I have a lot more to accomplish. So it's like that you hit a high and then you like, okay, what's next? And then okay, you hit another high and you're like, what's next? So it's continuously chase those next levels. So that's what it is for me.
No, that's legit. That's legit. All right, so on your journey, do you remember the show when you realize, yeah, yeah, this is for me. This is what I'm going to do. Like the aha moment. You know, did when did that happen for you?
I feel like it was the first show. I feel like it was the first time I hit the stage. It wasn't something that I want to say expecting to do. It was an open mic. It was mostly poetry, and my brother was hosting, and him and this guy. Shout out to EP. Shout out to EP the Voice. Shout out to B Hall. They were hosting a room, and my brother brought me on stage. He was like, this guy's funnier than Richard Pryor. Worst
Whoa!
introduction
You had to
ever.
bring it.
Worst introduction ever. And they didn't laugh, you know what I mean? And the lack of response, I think it motivated me. You know what I mean? They didn't boo, but it wasn't the response that I was going for. And it instantly made me more hungry to know about, can I do this better? You know what I mean? Can I, like, that wasn't it to me. It was like, oh, it's more to this. There's more layers to this. So I was actually leaving that space, going
Hmm.
to just whatever downtown just to hang out. and I saw a friend of mine, and she told me about. No, no, she saw me somewhere, and she was like, "Hey, do you do comedy?"
Oh, sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was like, I saw you do open mic. She's like, do you know? She told me, ended up telling me about a place in Memphis where it's a comedy open mic. And once I found the comedy open mic, I was all in. I was like, oh, it's a place where I can work on this. You know what I'm saying? I can try to get better. And so that's what I started doing.
Okay. No, absolutely. When you find there's a space exactly for what you're doing, it definitely
Yeah,
alleviates a lot of the stress. And like, all right, this is where we practice. This is school. This is school right here. No, I get
exactly.
that. I get that. You know, so you said you started with it was kind of a poetry thing. Those kind of make me nervous. Those kind of make me it kind of makes me a little nervous because it's just I wouldn't say it makes you like nervous, but again, I've said this before. Things that places that like I love an unconventional space, but if it's not exactly what it is, sometimes it's a little daunting. But like you said before, it's about the host or whoever's running the thing. They set the pace.
Yeah,
So.
I actually host a lot of poetry events. Shout out to Righteous Soul, poetry events in Memphis,
Mm,
and I navigate the space pretty good now. I just did a guest spot at a poetry show, poetry and comedy show. It didn't go so well, so sometimes those crowds and audiences have that nice blend of I'm here to enjoy the art as well as laugh, and some people just kind of are just on that poetry mode. So I mean, it's still an audience that takes some finagling to get them sometimes, and then that's the
mm-hmm.
fun part of the craft. Again, it's like different parts, different courses, different greens.
Okay. So do folks attend these shows sometimes and do like a combination of both, like tell like joke poetry, like joke poems or anything like that, or they're pretty set in their lanes as far as being on stage is
Everybody's pretty
concerned.
set in their lane. We have one poet genius, the immortal hard face. He goes by Two Head Tony as well on YouTube. He's one of the guys that his poetry is humorous, but it's deep and real too. You know what I mean? So it's got punchlines, it's got stuff that'll make you laugh, stuff that'll make you think, and so he's a dope artist. So shout out to Hardface.
All right, no, I definitely need to check that out. I really love like finding the bridges between different mediums, whether it's poetry and comedy, comedy and music, music and gaming, gaming and comedy, which I've done. I've bridged gaming and comedy. So yeah, if y'all looking for
That's
something, go to
how
sortaridiculous.com. You'll find it. But yeah, no. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting in on the sort of ridiculous shenanigans that's popping off tomorrow night at K3 Studio Cafe. You can still get tickets. You still get tickets. Otherwise, you'll be able to get them at the door. All the information that you need to know is on sortaridiculous.com. That's SortaRidiculous. And that's on Instagram and inactive TikTok. It's a radio show. It's a podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube where you're obviously watching this video. All right. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to sharing the stage with you. It's gonna be a ball and yeah, a proper introduction to producing shows in Memphis and working with dope comedians. Man, I've been very fortunate. I've been very fortunate. I mean, you guys make it do what you do, and being welcoming to the Memphis scene, it's something else. Bless you.
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Well, Memphis, like I said, we have a reputation of being tough, and we are that, but we also are very hospitable. So we welcome, what I'm saying? We welcome people, we show love, we look out for each other, you know what I mean? So come get some of this Memphis love, man.
That's the plan. That's definitely the plan. So with you being in the game for as long as you have, you obviously have, found some things that work, for you, or I'm thinking things that would work universally. So would you happen to have a few tips for folks that are starting out, or maybe in a rut where they are in their comedy career?
I say, so comedy for me is therapeutic. It's a way I'm able to unleash, release, share another version of myself, or whatever you find the reason for you doing comedy. I think just as a athlete works on their basketball skills or their hitting, their golf swing, I think that's the same effort you put in yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not just a comedian. I'm a coach. I coach myself to make sure I get up when I don't feel like it, get up when I've had a long day, and just continues to work on the craft. So you push yourself to get better. You challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone. That's why I salute you as well, D. I just know that the effort you put in is gonna be rewarded, and I encourage you not to look at other people. Not look at other people. If you're looking at other people too much, like, oh, he doing a lot, he this and that, or she doing this and she doing that, you'll get it's easy to get discouraged. But I'm just gonna encourage you to just look at your path right now, what you want to accomplish, and keep taking steps towards that. It don't matter if they giant steps, small steps, just keep moving, going forward, and the doors are going, opportunities gonna open up for you.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, for sure, for sure. Legit. So Rob, where can folks find you?
Man, they can find me on Earth right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gravitating, levitating. Might be an alien, but I'm here right now. Nah, but social media, Rob Love Funny, YouTube and Instagram is where I really want you to follow me. Rob Love Funny, one word, ROBLOVEFUNNY. Man, I'm on all social media. I'm not hard to find. Comedian Rob Love. You can Google me. I'm constantly on the grind, and I love what I do. I love bringing love and laughs. So holla at me.
That's right. Rob spreading love all over the place, all over the world, even intergalactic. Star Wars comedy, intergalactic jokes, all of that, all of that. But no,
Exactly.
with that being said, thank you so much for joining me on the Sort of Ridiculous Live podcast. Um, you guys feel free to follow me again at Sorta Ridiculous. SortaRidiculous. That's on Instagram and inactive TikTok. It's a radio show. It's a podcast. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube. Yes, I said inactive TikTok. I'm working on it. All right. So, with that being said, come see Rob Love and a host of dope comedians at K3 Studio Cafe tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7. Be there and be square because I'm a big ass nerd. It's what I do. With that being said, again, thanks, Rob. My name is Darren of Sorta Ridiculous Productions. Let's get sorta ridiculous.